ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
As scripted, they ran away and beat the Mavs. I got a text, and I respect the person from whom I got the text. Oh, we finally got a good game. Not really. Not really. Mavericks closed it to 9 in the third quarter. Were you ever in doubt that game was getting away from the Warriors? 120-110 doesn't tell the story. 5 games series, gentleman's sweep somewhat does. The better team won the Western Conference Championship and is going back to the NBA Finals. Good morning to you. Merry Friday. Seems like the world has Friday off, doesn't it? I mean, did you look at the parking lot? The steel doors are closed. There's no cars in there. Friday of a 4-day weekend. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. How you living?
What it do?
All right, you got into the parking lot, found a parking spot there today? Holy smokes, is the world off today?
Felt like it a little bit.
My other job has a recharge day today. They added 2 recharge days to our schedule, so I'm supposed to close the office today. Monica is not working. She's got a 4-day weekend. I'm going to work a little bit and take my recharge day, I think, next week. I'm not sure that's how it's supposed to work.
My key didn't work to the garage.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he on the street or what?
No, I had to call security.
Did you really?
Yeah, because parking starts at 7. I can't go back down there.
I mean, it starts at 7.
Like, you can't pay for parking. Like,
you can't get a ticket.
Correct.
You can't open it without a... Oh.
Yeah, and on the street I can't.
Yeah,
Anyways.
I get it. Yeah. All right, well, I'm glad you're here.
I made it.
Thanks for making it today.
I was like, am I not supposed to come to work today?
Yeah, no, it seems like nobody else did. But that's okay. We're at work today, and we got a show for you, and I think it's going to be a pretty fun one. 6 Warriors in double figures. Let me just tell you something. If Klay Thompson found his stroke, and I know we found it yesterday, but if he is now that guy, the guy that we watched yesterday, Steph has been on and off shooting. He hits it when it feels like it matters. It really does. But if Klay Thompson found his stroke, they're going to be really hard to beat in the finals by the Boston Celtics or whoever gets there, and I think it's going to be the Celtics. 32 for Klay, 8 for 16 from three-point land. 50% is pretty good. And I'll tell you, and I've told you this throughout the playoffs, I think Kevon Looney has been such a big piece for them, the offensive rebounding piece. 11 offensive rebounds, 18 boards for Kevon Looney. He had 10 and 18. They had 6 players in double figures, and they're pretty good. And you start throwing in Wiggins and Poole, and Draymond played, I thought, terrific defensive basketball yesterday. That's going to be a really, really tough team to beat.
They're going to be tough whether or not Klay shoots like that, but it goes back to that, no doubt, Warriors level. But that's also not who Golden State is this season. You guys are 16th offensively this year. And a lot of it, I get it, the health of these 2 players. They didn't play a lot of games together. But what makes the Warriors so scary, they're not dependent on the three-point shot.
That's right.
Steph Curry got his groove back this series in terms of his shooting, and it feels like he does step up whenever it is needed. But Klay Thompson still shooting 32% from the floor, from 3 in this series. But they found other ways to beat you. Everything
something last night.
Yeah, he was 8 of 16. He's not going 8 of 16, but he has those moments of anyone other than Steph on the floor. You're like, oh, that guy, can hit you 8 3-point shots. That guy can go 50% from 3. But why this team is so dangerous is they beat you other ways. Is you have a Kayvon Looney that stepped up again in a closeout game and had a huge game on the boards, because it's a team we talk about that is so small, but when they need it the most, they find the ways to rise to the occasion. With Kayvon Looney, remember that game, he had 22 rebounds, closing out Memphis. What he did last night, the fact that Andrew Wiggins is giving you double-doubles.
Not Jalika. Jalika coming off the bench last night.
Bielisa?
I mean, where does that come from last night?
Yeah, and just like, let's flip this switch and see what happens.
22 minutes last night. Whatever Steve Kerr flips seems to work. If he gives Kuminga some time, it seems like it works. If he gives Moody some time, it feels like it works. Otto Porter, before he got hurt, and he got 11 minutes last night, and it was a lot of garbage time, but it works. Like, whatever they do feels like it works. I'm with you 1,000%. This isn't as fun as the Splash Brothers thing is, and that might have been their initial incarnate, right? That might have been the initial making of what the Warriors were, the pre-Kevin Durant Warriors, right? Mm-hmm. It was about all defense and three-point shooting. I agree with you. They're smaller. They'll be smaller than the Celtics, but are you going to tell me that Looney and Draymond aren't great rebounders? They're undersized. You could okay, that was close. They're undersized. So is Charles Barkley. There's been great rebounders and defenders who are undersized. And that's I can't agree with you more. This isn't just the original Warriors that are just a three-point shooting team.
And you look at Andrew Wiggins, he's averaging in the postseason, the 3 series, 6.8, 7.2 rebounds per game. And that is also someone that is now the best perimeter defender.
Mm-hmm. That's who they put on Luka. Yep.
That is someone that's going to be asked to guard Jason Tatum.
Yep.
He's going to see some time on Jaylen Brown. So the Warriors are in a really good place because they've figured out how to win without having to hit threes, but they have that spurt ability. They have those guys that can close out a game, that it's the unbelievable shot in the fourth quarter. Oh, you think you're making a run? No, you're not, because they can pull away. And we'll see tonight, but I believe the best game opponent for them will be Boston because of the athleticism, the scores that they have. But there's no reason not to think the Warriors are the favorites in the NBA.
Yeah, no, the Warriors are my favorites, and I think it will be Boston. The other thing is you pull Poole off the bench, right? And Poole, I don't know where you put him as on their best player, Curry, and then who's their next best player? I mean, Clay was great last night. Who's the second best player on that team?
I think the second best player in the postseason has been Andrew Wiggins.
Okay. And he got 40 minutes last night, 18 and 10, and he's the guy that they put on Luka. And by the way, Luka was frustrated and shot 10 for 28. He had his 28 points last night, but was frustrated, turned the ball over 4 times, and I agree with you on his defense. And then you're going to bring a guy like Jordan Poole off the bench, give him last night 28 minutes, he gets you 16 points. He gets to the rim. By the way, he got you 6 rebounds and was terrific. JJ, to me, they're deep. They're relatively healthy. I saw the wrist thing with Draymond concerned me a little bit. And I'm just going to tell you, and I don't know, look, that was one night. If Klay Thompson found it last night and everything he's been through, if it took him a season to find it, that's fine, right? If the 2 catastrophic injuries to his lower extremities, if it took him a season, he looked comfortable last night. Like, his stroke looked like the old Klay Thompson to me. I don't know what it looked like to you, but it sure as hell looked like it to me.
It did. He's had more of those moments throughout the postseason where you're buying in, you're seeing some burst, seeing him throw it down a few times, and that's going to be big. He's got the confidence back because he needs to be good defensively against the Boston Celtics. They got to be able to trust him in those moments because Andrew Wiggins, all right, against Dallas, it was 1. It was guarded Luka Doncic. Now it's Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, guys that can put up 40 points on you that you're going to have to slow down. And
typically you would say put Klay on one of them, right? And is he ready to guard?
Play on Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
You know you're going to mix it up, probably play big sometimes, let Draymond get a few of those assignments. Because Boston, I love this matchup because they're going to play big. And as long as Robert Williams is on the floor, you got Williams and Horford, and Marcus Smart, they can close it out tonight and give him some time off from that ankle, should be. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, because we haven't seen it yet.
No, we haven't seen a good
great
game in
postseason
2
series.
weeks. We haven't seen a close game in 2 weeks, and I'd like to see it. I was thinking this last night. This is a total offbeat. Well, not total offbeat, but offbeat a little bit. Is Klay Thompson a Hall of Famer? Because I think the answer is yes. Is Klay Thompson a Hall of Famer?
Yes. Yes,
I mean,
he is.
Steph's a no-brainer, right? Best shooter we've ever seen. Steph is. Draymond's going to be the one where you go, huh. And I'm going to tell you, I think yes. And if they win another ring, by the way, absolutely all three of them in my mind are Hall of Famers. And we're going to go back to that conversation. Does a ring make the difference? And I'm going to tell you, yeah, it kind of does. Especially if they've done it in 3 different forms, right? That core. If the 3 of them do it in the pre-Durant era, then they did it with Durant, and then they like Draymond said yesterday, they won 15 games 2 years ago. If they reassemble this thing and accept these young guys and help these young guys and bring them in, and it's not, you could see veteran cores that don't, I don't know if the word's mentor, I don't know if the word's accept, I don't know if the word is help grow, because that's 2 words. But it doesn't always happen this way. And to me, that's a big part of what Steve Kerr is, who, by the way, is a Hall of Fame coach. I don't even think that's arguable. But I'm going to tell you, I think all 3 of them are Hall of Famers.
I know he doesn't have the international career, but a player he really does remind me of
Who?
is Manu Ginobili.
You talk about Klay?
Klay Thompson. And just in terms of kind of gets lost in the midst of a dynasty. Now, Klay has the better per game numbers.
Oh.
He's going to get past Manu for total points sooner rather than later.
And he's
only
not done. He's
it's
still
only
relatively young.
2,000 points that he has to get to. But one of those players like you talk about, but as you just said, do you really ever give them the due that they deserve amidst this run? And absolutely. And just because Klay Thompson wasn't one of the top 75 NBA players when they named that, like, I do not believe that this dude is forgotten about, or people do not believe he's that good. There was just 2 years without Klay Thompson.
And I believe if there wasn't 2 years without him, he'd have been on that team. I 100% do. He was out for 2 years, and that was when they named it's all 75. So we consider this kind of a down year for him, right? He was coming back. He averaged over 20 points a game still. He was at 20.4 and 3.9, so 20 and 4 rebounds a game. I mean, that's still pretty amazing, is it not? For a guy coming off of 2 huge injuries, missed 2 seasons. And he's 32, JJ. So, I mean, he's going to still pile up still incredible stats. I'm just saying, they win this again, and if they win this year, they're going to be the favorites going into next year, aren't they? We sat here in the offseason, and everybody talked about, is it the Lakers? Is it the Suns? And I'm the one, I said, watch out for what Golden State's going to be. If they're healthy, they're going to be pretty good. I didn't see this Jordan Poole thing coming.
No.
You add that to the whole thing? It's insane. 505-246-0610 is where we are. Warriors are back in the NBA Finals. Want your thoughts on them, who they'll play. It's the Heat and the Celtics tonight, Game 6 in the East. We had a series-clinching overtime goal in hockey last night. Connor McDavid did it for Edmonton. If you stayed up, we'll get into that. Even if you didn't, we will. Lobo football schedule is now set. Dates, television times, Friday times, set your times. We get in the NFL as well. Lots to do on a beautiful Friday. Good morning to you. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Mix a little sports.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque.
Here's back in the NBA Finals. The number to get in today, 505-246-0610. That's the, what do we call it? The Sports Animal Hotline. It's also the text line, 505-246-0610. Emails, Jeff or JJ at sportsanalabq.com. Twitter, JJ's a great follow. _ JJ Buck. Facebook, the OD and the AM. You can watch our show there. Adrian's producing it on ProView Network. Also on Comcast Channel 26. A. Marie's producing on the radio side. I was just telling JJ this. One thing that, and it just kind of hit me as I was watching games the other day, that I've really enjoyed in these playoffs. And is this a direct shot at anybody? Not necessarily, but maybe. I don't know. And I'm saying this as a rule, and there are certainly exceptions. But for the most part, dudes are playing through contact and not crying for a foul on every damn play. Now, JJ said, are you not watching Draymond Green? Yeah, Draymond does. Luka does a lot. But for the most part, like, am I referring to anybody in particular? Maybe. But it's there's contact, and they realize it's a contact sport, and they're playing through it until a whistle.
Well,
and
it
for the
feels
most
like
part,
it's calmed down, too.
Yeah.
In terms of everything not being a flagrant foul.
Well,
kind of went through that moment a little bit.
Flagrant foul is almost an interpretation of a rule thing, and it's some dude in New York making the call. I almost am past. Well, I'm not past that. I despise it, actually. When there's a basketball play and you go to block a shot and happen to hit a guy in the face, and it's like, oops. I mean, it's like I told you, man. I used to have braces when I played, and my face was always ripped up. We always got hit. That's basketball.
Yes.
I'm not even talking about the flagrants. I'm just talking about common fouls going to the hole and people crying all the time. I've actually enjoyed watching games without dudes just crying all the time.
It is nice.
Okay. No,
I think it's one that you watch enough basketball, you kind of become numb to it throughout the entire season. It just becomes what you watch during a game. But I think one of the things, too, that really stands out, and it's what you were addressing as well, these are enjoyable teams to watch when they are clicking.
Teams.
Yes, you have your star players, and you have your Jimmy Butler, but when the Heat are clicking, they're an efficient unit. The Boston Celtics are not just playing isolation basketball. Like, you're getting good basketball. Now, the games haven't been good, but when those teams are clicking, you're watching them, and you're like, that's enjoyable. And it's the same thing with the Golden State Warriors. It's
100%.
Okay, they got a superstar. They got 3 dudes that are potentially Hall of Fame players, but they play team basketball.
26 assists on 30 baskets. Yeah, it was good. Hey, Lenny, good morning to you.
Morning. So this is more 90s style basketball a little bit.
Okay.
Physical, and no one's whining and running to the bench that they busted a fingernail. And if
I'll go there.
the Celtics make it against the Warriors, you're going to see finesse against the best defense in the league. And Boston's had the best record in the NBA since the Derek White trade in January.
So you like Boston in this, assuming Boston gets through?
If they do, I'll go with them only because if Grant Williams and Robert Williams healthy, Robert Williams is a very good defensive center. But it's not that he's a rim protector. He could protect you all the way to the three-point line and not do it in a haphazard way where he's creating fouls and still get back to the basket to protect the rim.
Yep.
Grant Williams is very physical. Jason Tatum is probably, out of both teams, the best two-way player. Okay. If Marcus Smart is healthy, he's still going to get Curry's still going to get his numbers, but Curry's going to get fits from him. And then Al Horford's playing some of the best basketball of his career.
Horford is came on Looney in a lot of respects. Yeah. No, look, the matchup's good, and that's kind of what you just beg for at this point, don't you?
Yeah. So unless Miami pulls a rabbit out of the hat, I can't see them beating Boston.
No, I think it is tonight.
But Boston needs to close the series out tonight to get an extra day or two of rest.
We don't go till Thursday, is that right? Next week?
Right, but still, that extra day, if they have to play Sunday, those 2 days matter when you're hurting with minor injuries.
And the travel. Yeah, I agree with you.
So, and then when you talk about Golden State, for them to have 6 finals in 8 years, you have to give hats off to the team, play, the management, and the coaching. You don't see that from many other teams.
I think, and you hit on management. By the way, Golden State will have home court advantage. I wasn't sure, even though Golden State was a 3 seed, they were 53-29. Boston was 51-31. If it's Miami, they have the identical record, so I don't know who would get home field there. You mentioned management, Lenny. I just think the way management has and I've said this a number of times, assembled this team, kept the core together, the pieces that they've acquired through the draft, the Wiggins piece, finding, I think Steve Kerr's done an unbelievable job in getting Wiggins to accept his role of former number 1 overall pick to become what he has become.
Okay, now is it Wiggins accepting his role, or is it Kerr getting the best out of Wiggins that they couldn't get out of him anywhere else?
Well, I mean, couldn't it be
Wiggins
both?
to believe himself.
Couldn't it be both? Because Wiggins is not what they tried to make him initially is the centerpiece of a team. He doesn't have to be that there.
He doesn't have to be, and he
right.
has less pressure, but he's playing lights out basketball.
Yeah, and I think you're right on both of it. I think that Steve Kerr has both got him to accept his role and make him understand who he is and believe in himself and put him in situations to be successful. No, I think it can absolutely be both. I think this is Steve Kerr's best coaching job to get them back here. And you can say, well, look at the roster. He's loaded. Well, who the hell was Jordan
Poole? It's better
Poole?
than when they had the 73-win season because of the players they have right now.
Yeah, I mean, who was Jordan
and
Poole?
how they assembled it and how they were able to just get through everything.
Yeah, I agree with all that. And when Durant left, and Clay got hurt, they're done. They're done. Well, they're not done. They're back in the finals, and they got a real chance to win it.
And then the next year, you have Wiseman. Now, I still don't think Wiseman's going to come back.
Well,
I think they're going to want to use him as trade bait for a different type of center. Not a knock on Wiseman, but I think they're just looking for something.
See what
else.
happens in the finals. Yeah, let's see what happens. They could get exposed and need another big.
But is Gary Payton coming back too?
How about that? I forgot about that.
He's supposed to be back for the finals.
Yeah, I totally forgot about Gary Payton and what they got out of Gary Payton. Yeah.
So if Payton comes back, then that's a little bit difference maker because that's one of their best defenders.
It's another defender, JJ, to throw at those at their two studs.
But then again, this is another player who scraped and scratched his way for the past 6 years, playing everywhere to finally make it.
Yep, that's really good.
Playing under the shadow of only Gary Payton Sr.
Hence, another great job by Steve Kerr to find the right spot for a guy who could contribute a lot that wasn't contributing anywhere. And as he said, bouncing around trying to find it, and he did. Hey, it's good. Let's talk next week. We'll have final set.
Thank you. You guys all have a safe holiday.
You too. Thanks.
And go attend the Gong Show.
All right. That's tonight, right?
All right.
Or tomorrow night? It's tomorrow night.
I'm doing it.
Are you doing it?
You win $500.
So what are you doing?
You do 2 small sets, and the judges decide if you win. And if you win, out of the 15 comics, you get $500.
Who are the judges?
I don't know.
That would be Leary.
But it's $500, so
yeah,
I'm gonna try.
Good luck to you.
If anyone wants to go.
Where is it?
Fusion Theater. It's downtown.
Good. It's on Saturday?
Yep.
Right on. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
That's good.
Hopefully, drinks on me next week. Or actual coffee.
I'm good with coffee week. I mean,
did you hear the actual coffee
story?
Did you hear what JJ went through this week?
What'd you go through this week?
Well, Jeff, we have to take this break. Yeah. But it wasn't quite the just an empty coffee pot story.
There's a lot of those. Was there no coffee? Was there decaf or something?
Yeah.
What?
Well, that's the beginning of it.
Really?
Yeah.
That pisses me off in a hotel room, by the way. Hey, I'm going to go make
JJ will fill you in, but.
All right. I can't wait. 505-246-0610. Your thoughts on the Warriors, how they're constructed, and put them up against the Celtics now. How do you think? I mean, I know the Celtics aren't there yet, but I think we all believe they're going to be. How does that go? We are now in the warmer months. Record-breaking heat. You're out probably being active. You're moving more. You're doing more. Guys, you ready for this? Are you the best that you can be? If you're not quite the best you can be, if you're tired too often, you're dealing with hair loss, weight gain, depression, even erectile dysfunction, NuMale can help you. In fact, NuMale's helped thousands of men all around the country with these exact things, natural things. You just got to call them at 505-652-1688. That's 505-652-1688, or visit NuMale.com, and you'll feel better. And if you're dealing with hair loss, NuMale Medical Center has clinically proven treatments from everything from platelet-rich plasma hair therapy that uses your own platelets to stimulate stem cells deep in your hair follicle to halt hair loss and regrow hair, to the FDA-cleared clinical hair restoration laser, which is proven to regrow hair. They also have NeoGraft hair transplants that offer discreet, natural-looking results in a week or less with no linear scarring. If you're thinking about taking care of your hair loss, it's bothering you, and you want to do something about it, call Numel, see what they can do for you. They've got options. Numel Medical Center. Call them now. The number's 505-652-1688. That's 505-652-1688, or visit Numel, NUMALE.com.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit CarCrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
By the way, football schedules everything came out yesterday. I don't know why. I know bowl season in the college football world and ESPN was planning on releasing all of their the bowl schedule yesterday, and then the leagues announced their TV schedules and everything at once instead of just getting a couple days. out of it. But Lobo football play 4 times on Friday. You got 8 games on it. 8, 9 on national television. And then bowl schedule came out. New Mexico Bowl will be played on Saturday, the 3rd Saturday in December at 12:15. I know a lot of you go, yeah, of course it will. It wasn't that easy, man. It wasn't that easy to keep that date. But I can't be more happy to be right back there on the first Saturday of bowl season. There will be 2 games on Friday, just because there's less and less window. So Friday's where bowl season starts. They'll start in the Bahamas, and then I think the Cure Bowl on Friday as well, if I'm not mistaken, in Orlando. And then Fenway will go in the morning, first ever. And they've been trying to get the first ever Fenway Bowl off for the last 2 years, JJ. COVID's hit it twice, but they'll go the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. They'll start at 9 o'clock in the morning our time, and we'll follow them on ESPN at 12:15.
Yeah, I think that's something that college football can clean up a little bit. Maybe get some more buzz around their announcements.
Everything at once, boom. Yeah. And I don't know why that happened. I was surprised that that's when the league announced all the schedules yesterday, because the league knew all the bowl schedules were coming out too. And I think nobody wanted to do the dump on Friday before a holiday weekend, and they probably wanted to get it out before the weekend. So it is what it is. But yeah, no, I was stoked with there's 7 bowl games on that Saturday. 7, including the Celebration Bowl, the MEAC SWAC champions. Vegas is playing that day. The Raiders play the next day, which will be interesting, but they're playing on ABC later that day. But I'll tell you, I felt like heck to stay on that Saturday afternoon, because it's kind of become a cool thing around here, that 3rd Saturday in the afternoon to play 12:15 and have a nationally televised game. So stoked about that, and those announcements came out yesterday. All right, I want to hear the coffee story. And then I got to take on the Warriors. Can I lay this out? Tell me the coffee story. What happened with the coffee?
I think your take on the Warriors is what people want to hear.
Yeah, not but it's funny.
It was just someone drinks decaf around here.
Who?
But to have an entire pot of decaf.
How did you know?
Because it says decaf on the handle.
They labeled
so someone
it.
labeled it.
So you know it was decaf, or they just filled it? Because I didn't even know that there was a label. Oh, they labeled it like on. Okay.
So there's a label on the handle that says decaf.
Oh, that's new.
And there were times where I just put caffeinated coffee in it because we're going through a ton of pots, and to sit there and see one full decaf pot in the morning doesn't seem right. Doesn't seem fair.
Who does that?
In an office that we're
figure it out
all on copious amounts of caffeine to survive in the mornings.
Yeah.
So I went through that, and then took a step back. Like I realized that someone's probably doing it because they can't have caffeine. So I'm not loading it up with caffeine coffee anymore. But it was just really frustrating when you see one giant pot of caffeinated coffee. That's what a Keurig is for.
But the best part is, the other coffee pot now says not regular coffee; it says actual coffee. Whoever labeled
so they're
that,
both labeled. I didn't even know. I just touched both of them, and I didn't even know
now they're labeled. I don't know when this happened.
I filled up both pots with caffeinated.
But that's
coffee.
It's very funny.
Yeah,
it's very funny.
Actual coffee.
I didn't even notice.
Very funny to me. Actual coffee.
It's actual. It's like speak American.
Maybe they saw JJ. actual coffee.
That would make me cranky. All right. So here's my take on the Warriors. So I've been trying to figure this out. I like the Warriors. Okay, I've liked the Warriors because I enjoy watching the Warriors. I enjoy watching guys who are not first-round picks in Draymond Green exceed expectations. I love smaller guys Steph Curry, who can take over games. I played against Steve Kerr in high school, so I've always had that affection. I've always liked Steve Kerr. But I realized, JJ, it's the only Bay Area team I've ever kind of pulled for, right? You grew up an LA sports fan. You don't pull for Bay Area teams. You just don't. And I realized a short while ago, and this may be beyond you guys because it's before your time, but those of a certain age, they are the closest to the Showtime Lakers of anything I've ever seen. And if you grew up with the Showtime Lakers, and you guys have been watching the show, I know, but if you grew up watching the Showtime Lakers, and maybe not even as much this carnation of the Warriors, but the original and the Durant, and I say that like there's 3 versions of them, right? The original, the Durant version, now the post-Durant version. right? They're the closest I've ever seen, just as far as watching, because, and you mentioned this in the last segment, they're fun teams to watch. When the Mavericks are moving, they're fun. When the Heat have it going, they're kind of fun to watch. They're just, to me, yesterday when they had it going, 26 assists on 30 baskets or whatever it was, they're the closest thing I've ever seen to the Showtime Lakers. And that's, I finally came to the conclusion, that's why I kind of have an affection for watching them. And I pull for them because I just flat out enjoy watching them when they look like they're having fun, which is kind of what sports should be. And it's a brand of basketball that brings me back a couple of years, and I enjoy it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely does make sense. It's fun to watch, and there's enough flash to where they don't get the San Antonio Spurs treatment.
Oh, that's not even close to that.
Yeah, but the Spurs played good basketball, but people called it boring basketball.
Flashy, yeah.
Well, it's flash because there's 3-point shooting. You have, like, Steph Curry has an attitude. Steph Curry is a superstar.
Yes.
Steph Curry is clowning people.
Yes.
But because he's small,
that's right. He gets away with it. No,
it's cute.
That's right.
And anyone else, it's like, well, we should be doing that. You're the biggest dude on the floor.
Yeah, LeBron does that, and you're like, really, dude? Yeah, no, you're right.
And so that it all plays into why I think so many people enjoy watching this Golden State Warriors team, watching what they've done over the last 8 years.
I'll ask those of you who remember the Showtime Lakers, Magic and Worthy and Wilkes and Byron Scott and Michael Cooper, those teams. Is that a fair analogy? Is that, I mean, I'm not saying they are them. I'm saying it's the closest thing I've seen to that since that. And I think that's why over the years I enjoy that brand of basketball. Now, you might enjoy the grinded out Spurs or the Celtics or the East Coast. What did we see? What was it, 42-37 at halftime of the Celtics and Heat the other day? Wasn't that the score the other night? I mean, maybe you like that, and that's cool too. Whatever, man, you do you. But it's a brand of basketball that I don't know. It's just, and by the way, the skill and it's some of the best shooting I've ever seen on a team in my life. And yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, there's been a piece that's bothered me. How the hell do you like a Bay Area team? That's not okay. You're not supposed to like a Bay. New York people can't like Boston teams, right?
Absolutely not.
I think that's the reason. My brother hates it, by the way. Hates it. Held on to the Lakers, and I'm like, you do your thing, man. I just, and I'll go back to the Lakers at one point. I will. When this era is over, both sides, I'll probably go back. but that's why. All right, I want to get into the Louisville football schedule a little bit when we get back. Interesting piece came out today on Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs, and it's almost been universal. Why hasn't he got a head coaching job? Why hasn't he? And there's one former player who says, well, I'll tell you why. And it's a former player who is pretty good. 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Staples offers the latest laptops and networking solutions for working from home, in office.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Jay, A. Marie, and Adrian, good morning to you. You're on the text line this morning, 505-246-0610. Golden State versus Boston would be a good series. Boston plays good defense. He's right. The text line says, who's a better three-point shooter, Curry or Ray Allen? I'll take Curry. He's the best I've ever seen. Ray Allen was really good. Mm-hmm. I'll take Curry, the best I've ever seen. Now, he's in a slump.
Yeah, and that's also what I think makes Steph Curry so special is a lot of the guys that we talk about, best shooter I've seen, they were kind of one-trick ponies.
Yeah, he's not.
And
Ray Allen wasn't.
Ray Allen was tremendous.
Yeah.
But Steph Curry's a point guard. He's a creator. He, off his shot, he gets to the basket. He's a playmaker. A lot of these other guys have just kind of been pigeonholed as shooters. And so I think having that conversation, like say a Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, guys that come up, guys that he's passed in the record books, but are legitimate shooters. I think shot for shot, those guys have a good case. I think Ray Allen is closer than even Reggie Miller, but it's just what
Miller was really good.
Reggie Miller was good. He was, and it's also just the evolution of the game. Like those guys. Like when you look back, even in early 2000s, and even at the beginning part of this decade, in some of those playoff games, there was still an element of we got to call it throwback basketball. Because if you look, even in the first few years of the Heatles or some of the games the Spurs were in, late in the last decade, early in this decade, the final scores like 89, 85.
Right. No, that's right.
So some grinded out games. So you get to era where everyone is just that much better at shooting, the way the game is called, and it's a long way to go. That I think Steph Curry is different because he's been able to evolve his game. Because we usually don't look at the point guard is the best 3-point shooter, but that's who he is.
He is. The text line also says, I want to hear the story of Jeff playing Steph Curry in high school. Nope. It was Steve Kerr, whose team, Palisades, he played at Palisades High School, came into our Christmas tournament. A. Marie, I've never seen anybody shoot like that. To this day, I've never seen anybody shoot like that. It was a blonde, 6'2", shaggy-haired, surfer-looking guy. It's Billy Ho, dude. It's the guy. You've heard me tell this story a bunch of times. I got that dude, and nobody had that dude. We threw everybody at Steve Kerr, and so years later, when I first got to Channel 7, so this has to be about, I want to say it was in '97. I went back to Chicago to do a story on Luke Longley, and I was at the last game of the season when they were trying to win 70 games, and we interviewed Steve Kerr. And afterwards, we turned off the lights, and I said, hey, you're not going to remember this. And I kind of told him the story. You came into our place at Christmas tournament. I said, dude, I've still never to this day seen anybody shoot like that. It was the best. I mean, we couldn't. And he looked at me and says, you went to Taft? I said, I did. He says, yeah, I had a pretty good week. Like, he remembered that tournament. He remembered coming in, and just there was nothing we could do. I mean, he was just, it was the best I've ever. Still, I mean.
Yeah, it's like Steve Kerr went to Arizona.
Yeah, it was a great shooter at Arizona,
yes.
by the way.
Steve Kerr's a really good basketball player. His career was just the thought of, he was just caught the pass in the corner and hit a three for Jordan.
I've just never seen anything like it. I mean, never seen anything like it. All right, told you going into the break, there's a story out, and it was written on CBS Sports by Jordan Dajani, and we've had a conversation. How many times have we had a conversation about Eric Bieniemy, and why isn't Eric Bieniemy a head coach? And there's been it's because he's a black man, and there's no African American coaches. And then we watched some minority coaches get hired, and why not Eric Bieniemy? He was the offensive coordinator for Kansas City Chiefs for 4 seasons. He's coming back for a 5th season. He signed a 1-year extension. He interviewed for, I think, every coaching job that was out there. He was passed over for every coaching job that was out there. He interviewed for the Broncos, the Saints. Didn't get the job. Well, one of his former players, and a guy that I think carries a little bit of weight, right? LaShawn McCoy, who's a 6-time Pro Bowl running back, spent 1 season in Kansas City under Bieniemy. Actually, they won a Super Bowl that year, right? So it should be a really good experience. LaShawn McCoy says that the hype around Eric Bieniemy is unwarranted. He did a podcast on, are you familiar with I Am Athlete, that podcast? I'm not familiar with it, but here he said, quote, there's a reason why every year they hype him up to get a job, and when the time comes, nobody hires him because they know the type of coach he really is. It's part of his quote. So McCoy was asked if Eric Bieniemy was the reason that he stopped playing in Kansas City, and he emphatically said, yeah. So what specifically? McCoy alleges that Bieniemy spoke to players in what he says a certain way. That was a quote. He talks to you a certain way that, according to McCoy, is inappropriate. So he's not surprised that Eric Bieniemy hasn't gotten a head coaching job yet. He didn't get deep into specifics, but he made it pretty clear that people in the NFL have a different view of Eric Bieniemy than maybe people who aren't there. All right, this is the first person who's come out. And because I've said to you so many times, there's got to be something, right? There's got to be something. His resume screams he's next. His predecessors in that position who've had similar success have gotten their opportunity, right? I don't know. Is this smoke? Is this a little bit of a flame? Like, to me, there's not a ton here, but it's the first person who I've heard come out publicly and say, yeah, I'm not surprised. He's not all that.
And Andy Reid responded to that.
Okay.
Saying, quote, sometimes it's hard on a veteran player, but maybe their performance level isn't what it used to be, and it's hard to take sometimes, but Bieniemy is going to push you and try to maximize what you've got. That's one of his strengths. He'll come in and shoot you straight.
And maybe LaShawn McCoy didn't want to hear it straight at that point in his career.
Yeah, because he didn't do anything in Kansas City when he was there.
He won a ring.
He was on the roster.
Yeah, well, he won a ring. He gets a ring for being on the roster, right?
Yeah, but he didn't.
No, I get it. I get it.
So that could be that level of frustration why he didn't think Bieniemy gave him a shot to play in Kansas City. He didn't like hearing where he was because once LaShawn McCoy left Kansas City, what did he do? Nothing.
I don't even know. I mean, he's done, right?
And so that one it's tough when you look at a guy just being there a year, didn't play a lot, veteran running back on the roster. Is he holding a grudge? There is something that isn't clicking in these interviews for Eric Bieniemy. And it also could be the fact that his best path is being Andy Reid's sidekick for as long as possible.
Which, again, it isn't a horrible thing. It isn't. But you start reading, this is and I wonder if more is going to come out on this. Because sometimes, once somebody says it, then there's more. But he says, listen, because some players, he talks to them a certain way, and some players would take it. I wouldn't take it. Like, whoa, that's the reason why that every year they hype him up to get a job, and then when the time comes, nobody hires him because they know what type of coach he really is. Well, according to Andy Reid, he's the type of coach that pushes you. I mean, it sounds like he's blaming him for a diminished role. At that point, he was 33 years old. He played 35% of the snaps, and they had better players in front of him. I don't know, man. This is all I'm telling you is this is the first time that somebody who you would listen to, and hell, somebody period, has come out and at least given a reason, right?
Yes.
Because of all the coaching hires and all the people, this is the one that boggles you why he has not gotten it. And I've kept saying there's got to be something. Does he just not interview well? What does it mean that you don't interview well? That you don't sit there, that is your tie crooked? Is your English not good enough? Is it your PowerPoint's not good enough? What is it that you don't interview well enough when you've performed well? It's like, to me, JJ, it's the equivalent of the combine to me. Well, I don't know, man. He went to the combine and he only ran a 4.56 instead of a 4.44. But I watch him on tape. I watch him play the games, and he was really good. But in the underwear Olympics, right? I mean, I watch a guy perform as opposed to these little tests. And I kept saying, there's got to be something. And I'm not sure this is it. I don't know that I feel like I've got the answer. Do you?
No. Not just from that quote.
No. All right, 505-246-0610. Is it working now? Kind of? All right, we'll get into Louisville football schedule. It's out. Want to go there. Scotty Scheffler's having a better comeback, a little after not making the cut at the PGA Championship. Good week for him. 505-246-0610. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, A. Marie, and Adrian on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
The Jim Rome Show.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
Lobo football, 4 games. The Mountain, they got scheduling. New Mexico State got its time. Eastern New Mexico. New Mexico Bowl didn't make the paper, did it? I guess we got to spend more money with the paper or something like that. Lobo football schedule, football and everything came out. New Mexico Bowl schedule was announced yesterday. All the bowl schedules were announced yesterday.
It's not under the picture stories on the web page.
Yeah, well, I mean, most people are reading on the web now, right?
It says. It's right there.
Where does it say? It says? Oh, it did. All right, never mind. All right, we spent enough money then. We do. All right, no, my bad. Totally my bad. All right, 505-246-0610. I want to get into the schedule a little bit. Kick times, Fridays. You got a lot of Saturdays. You can go do stuff now, man.
Well, and it's also, I know Danny's talked a lot about wanting to embrace football on Friday nights for high school football. There's only 2 home games.
That's right.
On Fridays.
That's right.
So that, to me, that's not.
And it's with the early one.
Yeah, the early one. It's that September 9th Boise State game.
Yeah.
Which September 8th they're playing La Cueva Volcano Vista at UNM Stadium.
Which is great.
Which is awesome. Trying to get some hype. You know, they're trying to get more around that game, make it a football day in New Mexico, and then it's all the way November 18th.
Friday night against San Diego State.
So you have 2 Friday home games. So it's not.
We've had November Friday games against San Diego State, haven't we?
Yeah, but it's not. Because that's by that time the high school football season's.
Oh yeah, you're in playoffs.
You're in your playoffs.
You're in playoffs. You're going to be going up against playoffs. I mean, there's no getting away from that.
Yeah.
You're going up against playoffs. It's the weekend before Thanksgiving, right?
And the other one, it's a road game, late night.
I think it's like state semifinals. Maybe they'll put the playoff games on Saturdays, which would be nice because you could play them in the day. It'll be warmer anyway. It's going to be chilly about that time. Yeah, and then you've got what are the road ones?
Yeah, September 30th at UNLV. That's a late kickoff, so people can be listening to the radio on the way home.
Halloween parties anyway. What time's that? It's 9 o'clock.
Have the game on in the background.
Yeah. All right. All right. I mean, look, you want to be on TV. This is how it goes. TV kind of runs it.
And then the last Friday is Black Friday.
And the LSU game's going to be on the SEC network, I think. Speech, good morning.
Hey, Jeff. Hey, earlier you said something about you played against Steph Curry in high school.
I never said that. No. If I said Steph Curry, I didn't. It was Steve Kerr, and I just told the story.
Oh, Steve Kerr. Yeah. Can you tell that story?
I just did. I mean, he came into our Christmas tournament. I never seen a better shooter in my life. I mean, just the guy. You're like, I got that guy. He played for Palisades High School, and put on the best shooting display I've ever seen. I mean, ever seen. And he remembered it years later when I asked him about it in Chicago. So, yeah, he was terrific. It was that kind of guy where it was like, white men can't jump. You see Billy Ho, I'll guard that guy. I got him. No, you don't. Nobody's got him. So,
okay, thank you.
All right, see you. Yeah. Did I say Steph Curry?
No, you didn't.
All right, I didn't think I did. Edward, good morning. Happy Monday, Friday, whatever day it is.
Tyler Hero. There's still time to be my hero.
You better figure it out.
Nice outfit he was wearing.
Yeah, I'll give him that.
How bad has the shooting been? My friend sent me some data today. All 4 teams that are left are shooting at about a third, high 20% clip. And the NBA has essentially turned into a drive, dish, and kick league. And you know what? Colin Cowherd actually came up with a suggestion to kind of remedy this.
He said get rid of the 3-point line in the corner, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get rid of the 3-point line in the corner, which isn't a bad idea because it allows the defense to extend further and be able to defend the outer perimeter better. But yeah, you saw the same data. I thought, it's not a bad suggestion. Anyway, Steph Curry, real quick. By the way, Jeff, got a good to have you back. How was Hooters and Cheesecake Factory? You're like the John Daly at the Players Championship.
Am I?
After his first round, he goes to Hooters. I'm just playing with you. I got to be consistent. Steph Curry, if he wins another championship or two, not only has he transcended the game, speaking of threes, but he's going to push or replace some of the fringe top 10 players in the NBA as an all-time great, meaning Tim Duncan, Olajuwon, Shaq, Kobe Bean Bryant, that latter part of the top 10 in NBA history. He may jump some of those guys and get into, rare air. And I think it's going to be interesting to see. Plus, he can play forever shooting those threes. And if he climbs the all-time scoring list, I think it's going to be interesting to see. Now, this basketball that we're watching, I agree with you, Jeff. It's nice to see. I'd rather watch this than 90s basketball where nobody could shoot.
Right.
And they would essentially tackle each other out there at times in the playoffs. And the final scores were 78-72. I'd much rather see the ball move and freely. But the it's been woeful. These playoffs have been woeful. It's been a painful watch. And I don't know what the solution is. You know that I think the season's too long. I think they play way too many. I think they could truncate the season to 60 games, which I know they won't.
But they won't, yeah.
And they should go to 5-game series. By the way, I think the NBA is the easiest championship. And let me quantify easy. There's no urgency. You could play bad for 3 games in a 7-game series.
Yeah, that's another Colin Cowherd argument that there is no urgency. He made the big argument that the urgency in football or the NCAA is win now, and again they'll never go to that. They're never going to give games back. That's one of his big arguments is there is no urgency. You could take a game or 2 off.
Yeah, and start the playoffs right after the NCAA tournament. Because if the longer you go, what are we going to have? The finals at the 4th of July weekend?
Yeah, I have no problem. So what? I mean, honestly, I don't have a problem with it going through this summer through June. Because it fills a gap in the sports calendar.
Sure.
JJ and I, we've talked about starting the season later, starting it at Christmas. I don't have a problem with the playoffs still going now.
Agreed. Last point, I have to be succinct. Memorial Day weekend, I've always shared with you, Jeff, that by just being born in this country, we hit the lottery. We hold a winning lottery ticket, at least for now. But as the son of a former WW2 vet who fought in the South Pacific, and our good friend Lancer is the answer in memory of him, hey, happy Memorial Day weekend. I hope everybody enjoys time with their family and has a delightful time in love. What is it? Being kind, sharing, caring, and loving. Have a great weekend, guys.
See you. The urgency argument, Colin Cowherd hit it the other day, and he's not wrong. I just don't know that you're going to do anything about it. You're not going to go to a 1-game series in basketball. You're just not.
And the games have been bad, but I don't believe it's because there's not urgency. You show me a team that takes off 3 games in a series, I'll show you a team that just lost a series in 4 games. Like, that's an outrageous argument.
Yeah.
That you can have a bad game or 2 and feel like, all right, we can get back in it. That's the point of a 7-game series. But there's not teams out there taking off 2 or 3 games.
You think Golden State took off game 4?
I think when you look at Golden State, the fact that their closeout opportunities, I think, in every series they lost that game.
Yeah, they're 3-3 in closeouts. Yeah.
There's might be an element of complacency.
Yeah.
But that's one game, and they're up 3-0.
Do you think Phoenix got comfortable when they were up 2-0 and took a game off and
then it steamrolls on you?
And then it steamrolls.
So it's absolutely one where teams are not taking games off. Because you're taking games off, you're the Phoenix Suns, and then you're sitting at home.
Yeah.
You can have a bad game.
You're taking the rest of the year off, yeah.
But I do not think that's a problem with the NBA. I don't think these games have been bad because teams are coasting.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with series either. I don't. I like Colin Cowherd a lot. I don't think we need to chop series down to 1 games. I'm not sure we need to start going kooky on this and eliminate the wing or the corner 3-point where he wants to extend the three-point line out to the end line where there's no corner threes to avoid the drive and kick. Defend it. I mean, find a way to defend it. You've always found a way to defend things. Does the season go too long? Here's the deal with this has always been my thing. I think it's too long, but it doesn't bother me because I've got so many options.
What's too long about it? People aren't watching in regular season anyway.
Right.
And so here's the playoffs, and you're like, oh, this thing's long.
What?
No, I'm really glad the playoffs are here this time of year. Like it as long as I'm doing this job.
Can you imagine if it was lining up with like March Madness?
No. His point is start them right after March Madness, and they start shortly after March Madness. They start about 3 weeks after.
I will never understand. Never.
Not even 3. I think it's about 2 weeks after.
Shorten sports.
Yeah, give me less.
Why? Because you're not watching the games anyway, and if you shorten it, you're not watching more regular season basketball.
I can't agree with that.
You're still watching at the same time you're watching.
Yeah, my argument has been the same as it is with there's too many bowl games, there's too many regular season NBA games, don't watch them. But people are watching them, and this is where the money's coming from. So you can have all these conversations you want about shortening. You're not there. Of all the things that we talk about that's never going to happen, that's it. The owners aren't giving this money back. They're not saying, here, take away 12 of my games, 6 home gates, and now I got to give back sponsorship money. They're not television money. They're not giving it back. So let's have a conversation about something that might actually happen. My answer always is, don't watch.
Well, I think timing is a valid conversation. When you're starting your season, when is it wrapping up? Scheduling.
Yeah.
We brought that up. The playoff schedule, teams or players getting hurt, but we're also right now, the teams that are going to be in the NBA Finals are about as healthy as you can be at this point in a season.
I will give you this. I do think the long season eliminates some of the urgency. Okay? We talk about college football and the urgency and how every week counts and their regular season being relevant. I think for the most part, except for the teams that are battling for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right, which probably aren't championship title contenders anyway, there's what is the regular season? We're playing, we're taking load management days. Like his point on it's too long from that perspective, does it dilute the product a bit? Yeah, I think it does. I do. But especially with so many teams making the playoffs, yeah, it kind of does dilute the product. But when we get to the playoffs, I don't think it diminishes the product. The product has not been good in this round of the playoffs. And I would even say these playoffs overall haven't been great. And so, you know what? Every year isn't going to be better than the last. You're going to have down years, and this is a down year for great moments. But the last few years, you've had great moments. If there's an argument on the regular season being too long, I do believe it diminishes the urgency.
Okay. And this is the problem, is you always want to be thinking about your sport.
Yeah.
About what can we do to change it. If you're going to compare everything to football season, everything's going to lose.
I agree.
There's an element of, if the season's long, not all of it is about a championship.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where the business side comes into it. That's the gates. You're selling tickets. You got your season tickets.
The experience. Yeah.
Television. You're taking your family to a game that you can. So there's an element of the length of a season that it's not always about a championship for every franchise. It is a business. It is, the Sacramento Kings aren't playing for anything, but you got your Tuesday night game.
They got their 82 games.
They're on TV. Get your Kenny Thomas pre and post game. That's the reality of it.
Which is winner. All right, 505-246-0610. You can get in on that. I mean, do they need to shorten the season? Because I'm not sure. I think they do.
I would then respond, what does that change for?
Yeah, you're still going to get here.
NBA fan.
Yeah, where's hardcore NBA fan?
We're right here.
He's in an NBA city. Or right here. I mean, do you want the season shortened?
Absolutely not.
All right. So somehow less is more. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. These.
Staples Print and Marketing Services help small business print big.
Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated, with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
The stuff.
Give me a hoe if you got your funky bus fare.
Okay, that's an 8 o'clock ho.
Like a extended long weekend ho?
Yes.
All right, 505-246-0610. Where are you on this? I don't even remember what. Oh, that hurt my. I got no blood in my head.
NBA shortening
Well,
their
the
season.
sense of urgency, and it's a long season.
Whoa,
but teams can also take advantage of
Do
it.
people feel that way about baseball too?
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
But what would you do without baseball this summer?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, and my thing is, are they shorting it because it's going to make the playoffs better?
So
are they shorting it because then all of a sudden you're going to watch those games that you're not going to watch because it is football season? And you look at the length of the season, and I'll tell you, man, if there's teams taking a night off, it's going to come back and bite them. So, and that's a team that is not going to win the postseason. That's a team that you're not going to trust. And if there's any team taking off more than 2 games in the playoff series, they're at home right now.
All right, so I'm going to ask.
But finish this up. A team that we love
Yeah.
took advantage of the long season. Boston Celtics.
I would tell you the Warriors did too.
Yes, both did.
The Boston Celtics were a team no one was talking about at Christmas.
No.
And since January 1st, they're 34-12. And I've heard to go to the NBA Finals. So while it is a long season, yes, you have room to rebound. Can also take advantage of it. It's not just coasting.
Deutsch says, can't believe I agree with Crushed. Jeff, I'd start the regular season Christmas Day and play 60 games every other night. Then the first 2 rounds of the tournament go back to best 3 out of 5. Final series has to wrap up Memorial Day weekend. Why? You talk about not wanting to see the boys of summer play on chilly October, November nights. I don't want to see winter sport when it's 100 degrees outside. See, I think they need to go the other way. I think they need to start on Christmas Day and run this thing through July. And then take August, September, October off. Start camp in November.
The only thing that makes basketball a winter sport is when they put it on TV.
Well, because it's played indoors.
That's just
I mean, honestly, it's the only.
Yeah. Wait. What?
So I'll ask the question that I ask on so many of these conversations. Who would? First of all, we're not doing this. Okay, they're not cutting the season from 82 to 60 games. They're not lopping 22 games off of their schedule. They're not. Okay. I'll listen to the argument it would make for a better regular season because I somewhat agree that it would make it more urgent. You would see less rest days, but certainly not if you're playing every other night. If you go every other night, you're going to see more rest days, more guys taking load management days. But who would we be doing this for, and who should it be for? Would you be doing it for the fan? Would fans watch more if you played less? I guess I don't understand that.
Well, because it comes back to that urgency. So these games matter. I do think the NBA needs to get rid of the play-in tournament. I'm just not a fan. I think that waters down their product. Like at the end, you're like, oh my gosh, we're getting so excited about the below 500 team. At that point,
10 games below 500.
You've wasted your season.
Yeah,
you're
I agree
done.
with that.
That needs to go.
100%. I agree with that. Now, what they'll tell you is it keeps more teams involved and it has less tanking. And they're probably right. Okay, there's less. If you're playing for that 10 spot and you got a chance, then you're not tanking because and losing games and again hurting the product. They've got a real problem with the bad teams playing for more ping pong balls in the damn lottery bin. Who are we doing it for? Would you watch more? I don't know that you would. Would you watch? You're going to most. That's not fair. Most. A lot of people, and you tell me this all the time. I get this email. I get this call. I don't start watching the NBA until after the NCAA tournament. You somewhat watch seasonally. You watch football. You watch pro football, college football until bowl season's over, the playoffs are over. Then you kind of, no, I'm into college basketball because they're in league play. And you watch Mountain West basketball. Maybe you watch WAC basketball. Who knows? And then you watch the NCAA tournament. And you're like, oh, okay, now let me get into the NBA and baseball a little bit. And we've heard that call, that email constantly. That's your schedule. You're not going to watch any more or less regular seasons if they give you more or less. So I think the answer is don't watch it. Does it dilute the product? Yeah, I mean 82
really,
is a lot.
but what is it diluting? At the end of the season, we're talking about the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, no, by the time you get there. Yeah, by the time you get there, the cream rises. I think it does. Now, you got a 3 seed and probably the Celtics a 2 seed?
Yeah.
So you're going to have a 3 and a 2. Neither of the ones are going to probably make it to the NBA Finals. Okay? I don't have a problem with that. I tell you all the time, champion isn't always the best team during the regular season. That's why you have playoffs. If you want it to be the team that had the best regular season, then don't have playoffs. Hand out the trophy after the regular season.
Well, that's a sense of urgency right there.
Well, if that's what you want, that's what you want. Right? And if you really want to shake things up, you really want to be different, there you go. Knock yourself out that way. I think it's like you got other issues. Flopping. How do you get the Sacramento Kings and the Orlando Magic to be worth a damn? Yes.
And there's going to be bad teams regardless of what you do. Like there's going to be a point in the season where even if you're a 10th seed, not playing isn't going to help you that much. Going from, we have the 10th pick to the 8th pick.
Yeah.
Like, so bad teams are going to be bad regardless if you say 10 or 8 teams make the NBA playoffs.
You're right. Lobo Hobo said needed that early hoe, Jeff. See?
Oh, wow.
He said there was a sense of urgency in that hoe. If you hoed every day, then you'd take a hoe off here and there.
Oh.
See, he's right. If we hoed every day, if we didn't just hoe on Friday, we hoed every day, we would take hoes off. And the hoe would get cheated.
But is that what people feel is contributing to the blowouts then?
Everyday hoeing? The every other day playing, what are you asking?
Like because there's a push, and this isn't just a one call. There's people that believe it, like shorten the regular season.
Yeah.
Look, what would that?
Let me ask you that.
And so, do you really think that multiple games in the postseason, teams have been coasting?
I don't. No, I think they've been getting blued out. I don't think they've been coasting. So this is not a trend. It's a trend this year. The sample size of blowout games, and look, this round specifically, I don't believe in either conference final there has been a single-digit game, right? A margin that was single digits. Am I wrong with that? In the Warriors-Mavericks series and the Celtics-Heat series, every game has been decided by double digits. Last night was 10. But this does not happen every year. You got a sample size of 1 here. Now, if this happens next year and the year after, and then you start saying, okay, why is this happening? And I don't know that you're going to find a reason why this is happening. You're going to get a lot of different theories. But to your point, are we getting blowouts in this round of the playoffs because somehow the regular season's too long? Explain how A plus B equals C to me, because I don't understand the mathematics. Do you?
No. And to look at a team that might be 3-0 in a series and say, all right, they let their foot off gas a little bit, is a whole lot different than saying teams in a 7-game series are taking 2 or 3 games off.
Yeah, even 2.
That's how you go home.
But I think what Edward's saying, and really what Colin Cowherd was saying, is you can have 2 or 3 bad games, even whether you took the day off or not. Just have bad games and win a series.
You can't. You cannot. You cannot have 3 bad games.
Well,
you can win 4.
You can have 2 bad games. Did the Celtics have 2 bad games? They had 2 bad quarters, hence 2 bad games against the Heat.
Case in point, where are the Phoenix Suns?
Right. But case in point, in that series, the Dallas Mavericks had 2 horrible games in Game 1 and 2, and won the series. But is that a bad thing or is that a good thing?
So are we talking about they're coasting? There's no sense of urgency. I think there was a ton of sense of urgency in those first 2 games for Dallas, even getting blown out.
So I think it's 2 different things: coasting / taking the day off, or getting blued out or having a bad game. I think they're 2 different things. The point I think they're trying to make is, well, you can have 2 or 3 bad games and still win the series. And I guess the response is, yeah. So. Is that a horrible thing? I mean, should you, because you had a bad game, should that be the end of your year? Should you be eliminated? That's kind of the point of a series, to get best of 7. Almost always the best team wins, right? You're determining the best team. You're determining the team that moves on. Mm-hmm. And the answer is, you had 2 or 3 bad games, but yet you can live through that because you had 4 better games.
And the conversation changes because when you're telling me that you're having 68 teams play for a championship, that your bracket is going to look a lot different than even 20 teams at the different timetable, different level of it all. I think there's ways that they can tweak the schedule that we've talked about. You've brought it up, and making sure that even if it's an extra day or two in the postseason to help maximize the health of these teams. But also part of it is just team building. That it's sport. You're going to get hurt. How do you overcome injuries? How do you get through it? Certain players go down, doesn't matter. If you're a superstar player, you're done. But if it happens to be someone on the edges, you get through it. Take away the play-in tournament. 8, it's always going to be 8, but we don't need 10.
All right, I know we're late for this break, so let's take it. 505-246-0610. We'll continue this conversation, but I ask you, who's watching your home? And I hope it's the good guys and not the bad guys, because the bad guys are out there, and you know that property crime is up in this town. For about $5 a day, you can have a private security company looking out for you, your business, your home, your family. International Protective Service does that for me. IPS has watched my home for years. I trust IPS because they are making Albuquerque a better place to live and to work. Aaron Jones lives here. He's from here. Back in 2006, he started this company up in Fort Hills, providing security for homeowners there. Now, thousands of homeowners and business owners trust International Protective Service to protect what's important to them. Highly trained armed guards, 24-hour patrols that will look after what's important to you. What's it worth to you? Well, I think you're going to find that it's much more affordable than you think it is. For about $5 a day, you can secure what's important to you, keep the bad guys away, and make sure that IPS is looking out for you. Committed to our city and to our protection. International Protective Service. The number is 505-897-2420, 505-897-2420, or online at ipsglobal.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever...
Ken, hope you're going to enjoy. Be warm, windy.
Chopes won last night.
Winner, winner. A Chihuahua dinner. Is that what they call that thing?
Yes.
That's right. You going out to the ball games this weekend?
No.
I think I'm going to go out tomorrow.
Oh,
the
really?
Bordeque shirt giveaway.
Oh, man. Maybe I should try to do that.
Well, you got the,
For the show,
you
man.
got
I got
the big
show.
gong show thing going on.
I'm trying to win $500.
No, I hope you do. And I would support you, but I told the kid I'm going to take her to the game.
No,
and she's
no.
gonna go to the ball
I want her to get that Burke jersey.
Yeah, no. Well, we might get it anyway.
Come on, you know a guy.
I might.
Get like 3.
I mean,
we could wear them to work. That could be our uniform.
We could. We could. 505-246-0610. 888-922-0610. We've been having conversations about the length of the season, the playoffs. Look.
So it's 1984.
The year was 1984.
They introduced the best of 5 in the first round.
Okay.
Then it went 7-7-7 because that's when they expanded from 12 to 16 teams in the postseason.
In the postseason.
In 2003 is when
they went all 7s.
They went all 7s. Now I know with a lot of things I'm missing the point and missing the point of Edwards' call again, apparently. But I guess when you have series, what's wrong with someone playing a bad game?
That's kind of my point. Yeah, that's kind of my point. You know,
it just needs to go to single elimination.
Well, it takes away the urgency, right? So like for instance,
and to your point, Jeff, and I'll tee this up for you, like a bad game versus getting beat.
Well,
like how do you weigh that?
So a bad game or running into a hot goalie or a hot shooter, right?
Yeah.
So Laurent Rivard for New Mexico. I mean, I still believe that New Mexico team would probably beat Harvard 8 out of 10 times that year, don't you? But they ran into a hot shooter that day, and so they're out. I would just argue with you that they're just different. Well, Jeff, they're basketball. Well, they're different. Do you want the NBA? And the other thing is, they play those games, not in the NFL, but they play those games single elimination on a neutral court. So do you want a home court one game elimination, and Luka goes for 47 and knocks the Warriors out? You feel better about that? Is that what you want? Maybe there's some of you that do. So what does it do? It gives you the urgency. I think the point is, and I don't think you're wrong. I'm kind of on your side on this. So what if you have a bad game in the playoffs? Or if you have 2 bad games in a series?
Don't we love a Game 7?
But the point would be that everything would be Game 7. If you went to one game, everything would be Game 7,
I got
right?
it. Yes.
I mean, yes, we do, but then we got Game 7s the other day. Didn't we have like 4 of them, and one of them was worth a damn?
Yes.
Yeah. We had 2 in hockey, 2 in basketball the other day, and
Yes.
one of them was
full
worth a damn?
weekend.
Yeah. So, yeah, we do, and the point is we'd get them all the time if you went to one game. They're not going to one. They're just not. In pro sports, in baseball and basketball and hockey, they're not going to one sport playoffs.
I guess
now they do in the wild card. They do in baseball's wild card. They do that's what the play-in tournament is essentially, right? This is a 1-game series. You like those? Do we like those better than we like series? I don't think so.
I think it's my fault. So be it. I do this a lot with Edwards' takes. Miss the point is, I don't think shortening the season somehow makes the playoffs better. I think we're overreacting to a moment.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Blowouts where the conference finals haven't been good, and I don't think it's because of a lack of urgency in series. Like, even if you go back to when you thought it was great, you're still playing series. Now, you don't have as many opportunities, I guess, to play a bad game and overcome it. If I wouldn't be opposed if you want to say, put some urgency back in it, the first round, go back to best of 5, because then that puts some pressure on the top seeds.
Yeah. Do you want me to hold this call through the break, or you want me to take it? How do you want me to do that? All right, I'll hold it. Izzy, please hold through the break, because we got to hit this break. You're up when we come back. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Need to hire? Need.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes.
Sports Animal.
Urgency. One game, wild card. Urgency. NCAA tournament. Urgency. How do you feel about that? They're not ditching series. 505-246-0610. That's how to get to us. Izzy, thanks for holding. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. This is Jay.
Hey, oh, sorry. I thought it said, God dang, I'm sorry, Jay. I'm looking at my screen. It does say Jay now. Did it always say that? That's my... What's up, Jay?
You are now Izzy.
No.
Enjoy it.
Cool nickname.
Yeah. What's up, Jay?
No, my new name is Dizzy Izzy, right? So we'll go there. Hey, so this idea about urgency in the NCAA NBA playoffs and how it goes back to shooting percentages is kind of what the gist of what Edwards' call was, right?
Maybe.
Okay, so, and I could be wrong, and I apologize certainly if I am wrong, but if that's your stat that makes this seem like the NBA playoffs are unwatchable or what have you, here's a thought. Now, if you're looking at it back in the 90s when everyone in this demographic loves to talk about that was the golden age of basketball, of NBA basketball. You take a series like the Heat and the Bulls, or the Knicks and the Bulls, both teams are shooting under 45% from the field. Okay. Now, this series, the Heat and the Celtics, I think the Celtics are over 50% for the series. The Heat are under 50. Okay. So it's not a, if it's about, shooting percentages, et cetera, I think that's a little bit misguided. I think there's something to be said for the fact that this is the first year in the last 3 where they've actually played 82 games. And some of these players are not, players are creatures of habit. Yeah. But this is the first season where they've had to play 82 games. Last year, I think it was a 72-game season. The year before that was the bubble. So this is the first year where they've actually had a full season. And it takes a little bit for your body to adjust to that. Plus, you have playoffs, which are a season in and of themselves as well after 82 games. So I think it's a little bit, to respond to this as, well, this is a sample size of 1. I think you said that earlier, Jeff.
Yeah.
This is a sample size of 1. This is more or less maybe the aberration in the history of the NBA playoffs.
That's a good point. And you got. I look at it though. Then I look at a rookie like Jordan Poole who played 30 games last year, and here he is in his 95th game, whatever, playing so well. So but there's always outliers on anything. There's something to that. I haven't thought about that. I'll give you that.
Yeah, the other part is that shooting percentages traditionally in a series go down as the series goes longer because what's the first thing that goes in basketball? Your legs. Right? You're playing defense. There's a narrative that they don't play hard defensively. Well, in this era of basketball, the way the floor is spaced, if you play basketball or played basketball, having to do all that running, your legs are eventually going to give out. It's not. It's funny. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and I was watching Caleb Martin. And I remember him in college, and the dude would barely break a sweat in a game. And I see him at a free throw during a break at the free throw line, and this dude is pouring sweat. And that's after 3 trips down the court. And is it because that NBA players are not as conditioned, not as well conditioned as an NCAA player? I don't think that's the case.
Nope.
I think you work much harder in the league on the defensive end than people want to give them credit for, especially in the playoffs.
That's interesting.
And if you want to see urgency, watch a defensive possession in the playoffs. Those guys are selling out for the most part.
I think they do. No, it's good stuff, Jay. Appreciate it. Really good points. Thank you for the call, and thanks for holding.
Thank you, guys.
All right. So I'm not willing to trash the whole system, first of all, for what I do believe is a sample size of 1. But I didn't think about it. They haven't played this length of a season the last couple of years. Is that something to it?
Rhythm, timing, yes.
Okay. I'll give them that. I agree with them that they play defense in the playoffs. The NBA playoffs are akin. I'm not going to say exactly like the NHL playoffs, Stanley Cup playoffs. The intensity, it's like anything else. Watch a baseball game. Watch a baseball game in October as opposed to a baseball game in May. Watch the scrutiny on every damn pitch in the playoffs. Second inning, man on first. So this is a big batter. Is it? He needs to get this a big pitch for him as they're starting to move around the bullpen. Really? Second inning guy on first. He's thrown 26 pitches already, but playoffs just magnify everything. And I think the intensity and certainly the defensive intensity picks up in the playoffs in the NBA as well. How about the play of Caleb Martin, by the way? I was thinking about that watching him the other day. Former Nevada star. And when we come back, Jason Kidd, the coach of the Mavericks, spoke after the game last night. Was he talking directly to Luka Doncic? We'll hear what Jason Kidd had to say about their future. Get in on the Warriors as well. Global football schedule. It's the opening drive. Happy Friday to you going into a long weekend. On 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Here, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Warriors are back in the NBA Finals. Most exciting team to watch, I think. Maybe the best team, we'll find out. Got rid of the Mavericks. They call it a gentleman's sweep. What is that? So, like, I'll beat you 3, but let you win at home, and then I'm going to finish you off and kick you in the face in my place?
No urgency in Game 4.
That's what I was about to say. Stall me line, JJ.
That's the gentleman's sweep?
No urgency.
Yeah.
No urgency to rest.
Knock yourself out.
Posted, man. You want to go home? Party with your squad winning the conference finals.
We talked a lot about the Warriors. This opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Amer is producing for us on radio. Adrian on the TV side, you can watch it. Our Facebook page is the OD in the AM. You can watch it on Comcast Channel 26, wherever you want. Go to ProView Network's YouTube page. So we talked about the Warriors and I mean, so much glaring positive, right? 6 guys in double figures. Wiggins is terrific. Klay Thompson had his best game of the postseason. I'm telling you, if he's back, and I got a sample size of 1, so I'm going to tap the brakes for a second. But watching him play last night was the glimpse of Klay Thompson that we've seen in the past. The Splash Brother, just his stroke was good. 8 of 16 from 3, which was terrific. He missed some open ones, hit some tough ones. All the superlatives. What about the Mavericks? Where'd they go? 2 years ago in the bubble, the Denver Nuggets got to the finals of the Western Conference, and you thought they were on the precipice. They lost Jamal Murray, hasn't been back, and they've struggled with one superstar. There's a theory that Dallas will not surround Luka Doncic with more stars because they can't somehow construct the roster. They've got a guy who's so incredibly unique, right? I don't know, how do you describe Luka? I mean, there's nobody really to compare him to. He is one of the most unique, best players on the planet, correct?
Yes.
What do they need to do?
They need a legitimate number 2 scorer.
Who's going to go play with him? Because the narrative is, and it's everybody's narrative. This is, Reggie Miller was talking about it on TNT. All the analysts talk about it. The ball is so heavily dominant in Luka's hands. Will a legitimate scorer want to go play with him? Because I don't see him changing the way he plays, nor do I think they want him to.
Yes.
Okay, do you have
because
to find
he's
it in the
23
draft?
years old.
Right.
And he needs to take a step back and look at who's winning. Look at how these teams are winning. If you want to be James Harden, go for it, man.
Yeah.
You're going to make a bunch of money and not win anything.
Not win anything.
And I think Luka is...
That's really good.
I think it's easy to fall in that trap that Luka is too ball dominant when other people aren't hitting shots.
But he is ball dominant. Now, you're right.
Point guard.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Steph
That's
Curry's
right.
ball dominant.
100%.
Until other people hit shots.
Look, Steph Curry's ball dominant too.
Luka Doncic wouldn't be ball dominant if he's passing the ball to Klay Thompson.
Okay.
It's tough. There's an ISO game to it where maybe he does it too much. But there's also times if Reggie Bullock is 0 for 8, how many more times are you going to keep passing the basketball?
100%.
So I think, for me, it's not just – we had this conversation earlier in the week, too, and someone was like, no, it's not a second score, it's defense. No, to me, it's a second score. You can figure out your defensive rotation. If you had Zach LaVine, Bradley Beal playing opposite Luka Doncic, he's going to evolve his game. They're not going to have as many drops. They're not going to be as many sets where it's Luka or bust.
And they need that. All right, Jason Kidd is the head coach of the Mavericks. After the game, he was speaking about the offseason and looking to next year. Look, this team was, what were they, the 4th seed overall? 4th seed in the West? Had a really good season, got to the Western Conference Finals. Now what? Because that can't be the end game. So listen to what Jason Kidd says here, and to whom do you think he is speaking?
We've come from, October to the end of May playing when no one had us playing at the end of May, but those guys in that locker room believed that they can compete and play at a high level. Now it's about what's our appetite come next season. Are we going to just tiptoe into the season, or are we going to be hungry? And then are we going to train this summer to understand what it means to play into May and June? Because it's a long season, and so that was the summary. But what a great thing that group of guys in the locker room achieved this season. We've come from.
So you think he's talking to Luka Doncic?
Yeah, it's a message to his superstar of, you helped us get somewhere where no one expected us to be, and it's going to be that much harder. And Luka reminds me a lot of Jokic in regards to, Jokic was really good. But there are some people question him, is he built that way? Is he efficient? Like Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic are never going to look like, Giannis or LeBron James. But you saw a different Jokic this season. The dude, 4 quarters, night in and night out.
He had to.
Game in and game out. And even if Luka gets some help, that's the player he has to become. 4 quarters, 1 through 82 in the regular season. And I think Jason Kidd's just putting a little bit of a reminder out there, going, yes, this is your team, this is your time, but it's going to be that much harder to get back to this point.
So I ask you this because I honestly don't know. I'll throw this out. It's interesting. The text line says, Luka is the NBA version of Teddy Allen, or Teddy Allen is the NCAA version of Luka. What does that mean? Great scorer, no defense?
And that's another area that I think you hear Jason Kidd say that. They're putting out there publicly, but he'll have his personal conversations of, is Luka going to be all defensive team? No, but you can't be that big and be that much.
Well, you can't let Jordan Poole just blow by
that much of a liability.
I mean, there were key moments in yesterday's game. I say key. I mean, the game was a damn blowout. But it got down to 9. It got down to 11. And Jordan Poole, who's a rookie, who I think is a talented rookie, blew by Luka Doncic. I mean, in nice ball fake, nice shoulder fake, boom, gone, blows, and gets to the rim uncontested. To your point, he didn't have to be a great defender, but he can't be a liability. Steph Curry had this reputation, I think it was unearned, that he was a bad defender. We've had this conversation. He's pesky. Is he a great on-ball defender? Probably not great, but I never consider him a liability. Do you, defensively? James Harden a liability defensively? Maybe.
And that's why
that's a bad comparison.
That's why everything, it's tough right now for Luka is trending towards James Harden.
That's a bad
But he's still.
And look, James Harden had a great career.
23 years old.
Yeah.
He just got this team to the Western Conference Finals. I'm not going to say, oh, Luka can't play a certain way or people wouldn't want to play with Luka, because it's different when you have a known scorer that you're dishing to as opposed to, hey, is Dorian Finney-Smith or Reggie Bullock going to hit these shots consistently? Like Jalen Brunson is the perfect role player, but he's still not a number 2 guy.
Well, he's not.
He's not a number 2 guy.
Look.
And to win a championship, it's not a big 3 anymore. It's you have to have a number 2. It's if you can find a big 3, fantastic. But look at these teams right now that are teams, and we're talking still about total complete basketball.
Yeah, Boston.
The Boston Celtics have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and then you can talk up the importance
Marcus
of the defensive player of the year, in his playmaking ability. But there's 2 legit guys that can take over a game that allows a superstar to be just that.
The Warriors have more. The Nets, when constructed right, would have KD and Kyrie. Yes, yeah. I mean,
so it's not necessarily about having 3 superstars. It's about having 2 legitimate scorers to function through your offense.
And I don't know if you get that through the draft. I don't know, if you get that through free agency, where that's going to come from. What is Luka's reputation? Is he a hard worker? Is he I honestly don't know listening to Jason Kidd say what he said, and then you thinking that it's directed directly at him, makes me think, okay, is that a coach pushing a guy to be better? Is that a coach sending a message that you can't coast through the offseason like, I don't know, maybe you did last year? Like, I don't even know. Is he considered to be a hard worker, looking to get better, looking to make everybody else better? Is he considered to be aloof? I don't know what the reputation is. I haven't heard enough people tell me about what he is in the locker room, what he is on that team. Does he want to win or does he want to be James Harden? Is a great. I never put it in that frame, and I think it's a really good perspective, a good lens to look at it through.
And for James Harden, I'm trying early when he got to Houston. I think after the Oklahoma City time, for him, how long was it until Chris Paul showed up, or there was actually a number two?
He was
for
in
him?
Oklahoma City with Durant and Westbrook, right? He was
And
number three. He was number 3 there.
He was and they were still so young on that run, and that's what, man, I forget of what could have been with those guys. They went to one NBA Finals.
That's the biggest what if of this era.
They lost to the Heat.
Don't you think?
And then they're like, you know what? We need to pay Serge Ibaka and trade James Harden, and then no.
Yeah, to me, I saw a Twitter poll yesterday. What duo in the NBA should have stayed together and would have won more? And to me, it's easy. I mean, that's such an easy answer. It's Shaq and Kobe, right? I mean, is there another answer to that? What if Shaq and Kobe stayed together? There's not another answer to that, is there?
How many do you think they had left?
2 to 3?
2 to 3.
Yeah, don't you? I mean, those were two guys in their prime who were unstoppable. I mean, Shaq was a beast. Kobe was coming into his prime. Yes.
Because was their last?
I don't remember years. I'm so bad with
4 or 5.
Yeah, I'm so bad with years. But this trio, if they had kept Durant, Westbrook, and Harden together when they were all that young, I mean, Lord knows. I know people in Oklahoma ask that question on a regular basis. Why me? They go all Nancy Kerrigan on it. Why me? Why? I get it. 505-246.
2004, by the way.
Is that when Shaq and Kobe won their last one?
Yes. From 96 to 2004.
Yeah. Right? And I mean, is there any reason, people tell me all the time, well, if Michael wouldn't have played baseball, he'd have won 2 more. Well, maybe. We don't ever know. But don't you think? I mean, isn't that the biggest what if? Shaq and Kobe stay together? How many more?
2 to 3 is legitimate because they also lost one in that.
They did. Yeah.
In the quote-unquote prime. They got lost in the NBA Finals.
All right.
And Shaq, after that last Miami, not last Miami season, but when Miami won,
he
fell off pretty quick.
He fell off quick.
Yeah.
Well, and look, he was the body type that was going to fall off quick. But I think they...
In terms of being this unstoppable force.
But
he put up his numbers.
But he was
for a long time.
Force. He was good. All right, 505-246-0610. I want to get into a walk-off in the NHL last night. Lobo football schedule, how you feeling about that? We can continue on the NBA if you'd like. It's the opening drive. Happy Friday to you. Thank you for remembering you listen to 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Animal.
Telling it like it is.
Here's the issue with Harden. He's eligible for a 4-year contract, an extension.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit CarCrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
A sense of urgency. It definitely is different. You can play some bad games in the postseason and win a series. I think this year it's frustrating. Everyone is asking the questions, what needs to change? What's wrong with the playoffs? And I think it's just reacting to a moment. Conference finals haven't been good. I don't necessarily think that means the regular season is broken, the playoffs are broken. Sometimes it just happens. Sometimes you don't always have to fix something to react to something.
Well, especially when the sample size is small, right?
Yeah.
All right, you want to go phones?
Sure.
Have you talked to Terry? I haven't talked to Terry this week, have I?
Wow, I don't.
I mean, it feels like forever.
It's been a weird week.
I had to work 2 days this week here. I mean, I guested on your show on Tuesday, didn't I?
You did.
Sitting on the balcony.
Yes.
Well, with those.
With Phil and Grammer, Phil and Jeff. Just said Phil and Grammer.
That's all right. Phil and Grammer.
Phil and.
Yeah. Hello, Terry. Missed you.
Yes, well, missed you, Jeff. Good Friday to you all. Back to it. Hugs and good wishes to Blue, Austin, Addie, and all family members after what's gone on in the country. Yes, I am a little sappy, but I wish you all well and enjoy your weekends. And everybody who has served and is serving the country right now, props to that. And thank you for service and everything. Wiggins, when Wiggins was at KU, I thought he was taking Quaaludes. So, Jeff, you were going to explain what Quaaludes were to the younger two. He would just wander around sometimes and act like, the last place he wanted to be was on a college basketball court. But, then all of a sudden he would have a game where you go, oh, yeah, he's the most talented kid in the country. But, yes, when you can pay somebody $33 million to be your third or fourth best player, it kind of helps out. And, so he's done it. Injuries, I don't know. Today's better training, better nutrition, but it just seems like a lot of the players, can't make it through the whole season. Maybe I'm just old and naive, which I am, and senile, but you would have injuries in the past, but it just seems like such higher rate. Plus, yes, a series. That's what's great. If you play a series, you usually say the best team wins. When you play one game like in college, fluky things can happen. One kid could make 10 threes on you, and the next game not hit anything.
Harvard.
So,
yep.
Yes. Yeah. So you accept it in college, and yeah, it's the moment, and that part's fun. But in the pros, you want the best team to win. When we're looking at Hall of Fame, just imagine if that Kevin Love for Klay Thompson trade had come through. Who knows what would have been different that way? Would have Klay disappeared into oblivion? Would Kevin been now part of this group, and with numerous championships besides the one he got at Cleveland? So things happening, you never know. Now, the Lakers could have made a roll, but in 2004 the Lakers lost to the Pistons, which
that's right.
JJ I think has referred to as probably the least talented championship team in the last 25 years. So to say maybe they could have come back put up a couple more on the shelf, but you never know that way. So from that standpoint, we plug on. Now, I had sent in on the text line, and I wasn't trying to be cruel, but I had put in, I wish Tiger hadn't made the cut. Yes, I picked on him a little bit, but no, he looked in so much pain Friday at the PGA. I just was feeling for him. And when I put in, I didn't want him to turn into Willie Mays of 1973. He has been the greatest, him and Jack, and I want him to have a good life. And if he can come back and compete properly, power to him. But, I want him to have a good life, and that just, it just was painful.
He's just got to get healthy, man. He's just got to get healthy. And again, I've never had a reconstructed leg and gone through fixing a shot and then having to walk the golf course and play at a professional level. And only he knows how much pain he's in. Right? We all say, oh, well, he said he could play. He's going to be Tiger again. Easy. He's never going to be that guy again.
Because the Masters was a miracle, from that.
And that was before the accident.
Well, no, this current year's Masters, just making the cut.
Okay.
Making the cut was amazing.
Yeah,
but it's not like to say it's going to happen every time and say, yes, this leg will get better from what it was. It might not. It might be as well off, as reconstructed as it's going to get. And yes, he is Tiger, and he wants to compete and do it. But like I said, if he can, power to him. But I just felt for the situation because Saturday it was just sad. It wasn't the fact that he played poorly. I just knew,
he's broken.
He's broken. He's broken.
Yeah.
So, but you guys have a great weekend.
You
it's
as
always
well.
Great talking to you. I appreciate the show.
Thanks, Terry.
Everything there. Have a great weekend.
We're gonna watch Tiger every time he goes out, right? You're gonna be excited. You're gonna be when you get a moment like him making the cut at the Masters. Enjoy it. Those of you who didn't see Tiger in his prime, get a glimpse of what he is. He's not going back to 2001 Tiger Woods. He's a 46, 47-year-old reconstructed, broken man. Not machine, man. Reconstructed back, shattered and put back together leg, which was about 18, 19 months ago. Could barely walk. He's out there trying to compete at an elite athlete level against guys in their prime. I don't know what the setback was, JJ, from the Masters to now. Maybe he's done too much, and that's probably right. Don't you think he probably did too much too quick?
Setback was you still have a surgically repaired leg that's going to react differently at his age with the trauma he suffered versus a 37-year-old Tiger Woods coming back from a knee surgery.
Yeah. He had the knee surgery. Then he had 5 back surgeries? And then this. I watch it, and we're all going to watch, and we're all going to hope, and some of you are going to keep betting on him. and do your thing. But to think he's going to be what you watched in the early 2000s, I think all of you know it better than that. Can we get a glimpse? Can there be a day? Because I will not sit here yet and say there's not going to be a major one month coming up in the next 4 to 5 years that we hit a Sunday of a major and Tiger's at the top of the leaderboard. I still think he will compete. I don't know that I think he's going to win one, but there will be a day, and I know you think he's going to win one, right? Yeah. You still think he's got one left. There will be a Sunday where he's at the top of the leaderboard at the Open Championship or the PGA or the U.S. Open or the Masters.
Where it just all clicks.
Yeah.
Like, he's never going to.
And we're all going to froth.
And I think we get that.
He wouldn't compete. He wouldn't compete if he didn't want to be there.
I agree with that 1,000%, Amory. You're right. Yeah.
He would not just be like, okay, I'm just going to do this. He would not compete if he didn't know he could win.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's going to figure it out.
But there's going to be more of
he can think he can win, but his body's not there.
Yeah, but there's going to be more of him not being on the front page of the leaderboard than there is that he will be. But we're all going to watch for that.
And I love that people cheer for double bogeys.
Well,
if you're Tiger, it's my favorite thing right now in golf.
You the man!
Yeah, Tiger!
Like, I guess I'm not as over the top on that narrative.
Okay.
Well, Tiger wouldn't be playing if he couldn't win. Well, it's not like he's the starting center. Like, there's a difference. He's on a golf course. We just watched John Daly on a golf course,
and he had a good day.
So, like,
by the way, he's playing the Senior Open.
Yeah. So
right now.
that to me, like, of course, like that. I'm not buying that. Like, well, Tiger won't be like.
I buy that. I don't think he would be out there if he didn't, in his mind, think he had a chance. No, I will buy that. I will. But by the same token,
yeah, he's always going to have a chance as long as he picks up a golf club because of that sport. It's not. I'm not saying it's easy, but you always have a chance in golf.
I saw John Daly
because it's not like Tiger Woods at 47. Oh, hey Tiger, take this snap and hope the left end doesn't tear your head off.
Snap you. Like, let me ask you this: in 4 years, he's going to be eligible for the Champions Tour, the Seniors Tour. You going to watch him in that?
Yes.
Do you think Tiger even plays in that?
Will he play in that?
I don't know. No.
I don't think he does.
Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he?
Well,
didn't Phil play in a few events on the Senior Tour?
Tiger.
Yeah, but Tiger
ain't Phil Mickelson.
His leg.
Well, I think we understand that.
I don't think it's his leg. I think Tiger is gonna roll with the big dogs.
These guys still roll with the big dogs now and then, and they play in the majors.
Really interesting one.
Like, they're playing the Senior PGA Championship this weekend, right? And you look at the names, and there's Mike Weir, who's played. Miguel Angel Jimenez is still there. Colin Montgomery's playing in this. Padraig Harrington, Ernie Els, Bernhard Langer. I'm looking at the top of the leaderboard there, and I'm like, all right. I still kind of would watch those guys a little bit. But would you watch him go out and kick that field's ass? Or would he even kick that?
I know. I want someone to ask Tiger that question. And I wonder if he'd get offended or not.
Well,
Tiger also feels like the dude that he's going to step on the course with those guys, whether he's 47 or 67.
Until he can't. Yeah. Well, he'll still be at the majors, and that's what you're watching. I mean, he's not going to be at the John Deere, as you like to say, or the Farmers. Well, he'll be at the Farmers because that's Torrey Pines. But the Progressive, but would you watch him in one of these, or is he just playing the majors on the Senior Tour and the majors on the regular tour, and only playing the majors? Play 8 tournaments a year. Maybe. Players Championship. His I don't know. 505-246-0610. Hey, Kirtland Federal Credit Union is New Mexico's strong since 1958. It's your home loan leader. Built in the heart of Albuquerque, it's Kirtland Federal Credit Union's goal to keep New Mexicans dream alive of achieving home ownership. They've got the right loans, local expertise, and a relationship that's built on trust. The Kirtland Federal Credit Union mortgage team is 100% local, and your loan stays 100% local, meaning you'll never send a payment out of state. Have a question when you reach out to talk to someone about your new home, you'll talk to someone right here in Albuquerque. Meet the Kirtland Federal Credit Union mortgage team and get started today at kirtlandfcu.org/home loan center. kirtlandfcu.org/home loan center. Kirtland Federal Credit Union is an equal opportunity lender. Membership eligibility required. See your representative for complete details.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque.
Really big deal around here.
I want to go.
I've never been there. Used to be near the top of my list. It's a little bit lower on my list now. Bill wants to know, no Memorial Day baseball for Isotopes. He calls it mediocrity. Jeff, I hate the schedule. How do the boys of summer not play on the day that unofficially kicks off summer?
Because
it's a fair.
They play the other.
It's literally a fair question.
6 days a week. 6 days a week.
It's literally a fair question. It is.
It's our day off.
I got it. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, A. Marie, Adrian. JJ got a City email. He says, I miss the classic Indy 500 days, Mr. Symbieta. When Albuquerque was a smaller, closer-knit city having the Unsers and later Gallus in the race, that was our Super Bowl. I get up early Sunday morning and turn on my AM radio to hear Paul Page on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway radio network. To hear Jim Neighbors sing sent chills down my spine. If you had to go to a local establishment to top off on water, you wouldn't miss a thing because chances are they had the race on too. And don't forget the taped delay of the race on ABC that evening. In later years, I turned on Channel 7 where you had the race covered up one side and down the other. KOAT used their sports travel budget for the year to go to Indy, not Vegas for the Mountain West basketball tournament in those days. I haven't heard 5 words about the race this year. It's Sid. He's right. Who's your favorite in the Indy 500? You got one?
Scott Dixon.
All right, there you go. That's 2 words.
Scott Dixon has Indy pole.
That's 5 words.
Let's go.
Right?
Let's look at the gambling.
I think that's right. Let's look up the gambling.
Nice morning. Got Monaco early. Enjoy that in Formula One. And then into the Indy 500 and some baseball on Sunday.
Let's go.
Because the Celtics are ending the series tonight.
I think that's right as well. Howie, good morning to you. How are you?
Well, good morning, guys. How you doing today?
Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, ready to excel, sir.
Yeah. Graduation was a complete success, and little Miss Addison is now on her way to the first grade.
That's so cool, dude. Kindergarten graduation.
Awesome.
What's like that?
And God bless those teachers. What a job they did with the little show they put on with the singing and everything. Teachers are so underappreciated.
Hear, hear.
And, I mean, I saw her kindergarten teacher get choked up, and he actually had tears in his eyes because he was moving them along to the first grade, and he was going to miss them. I thought it was so cool.
That is actually really cool. That is really cool.
Yep. So
good. Congratulations.
Thank you, Senor. Hey, being involved in my chat room with a few particular gentlemen, I learned a few things this morning. Listening and comprehension are life skills. I never knew that.
What?
I don't know. Yes.
And Steph Curry's underachieving when it comes to a bride.
I mean, I think his wife is beautiful.
I think she's
Edward
gorgeous.
thinks that Steph Curry underachieved when it came to his wife. Edward would have.
He would, Mr. Tyler Hero.
I think Aisha's a beautiful,
She
talented
is.
woman.
Have you seen?
Oh my God!
We know
But see,
Edward's
but
type.
Yeah, what's that?
I got to
I don't
tell you
know.
guys, the
Tyler
most
Hero.
absurd thing I saw on the chat room this morning was that Steph Curry has already gone past LeBron James. I thought that was a little
You don't think
crazy.
You don't think Steph Curry's passed LeBron James on the all-time list yet?
No.
Oh, I think he's way better than LeBron James.
Oh, come on, Jeff. You just don't like LeBron.
How come you can't send sarcasm font?
LeBron James.
I like Steph Curry. I think he's underachieved a little bit. He did in the Western Conference Finals,
He's in a
but that
shooting
only
slump.
proves to be scary because if he hits his stride along with Clay's hitting his stride, Draymond had a solid game last night. They're getting contributions from players that I don't believe they expected to get it. I think the Warriors are going to glide to an NBA championship.
Let me ask you this. Why do you think Steph Curry is underachieved?
Because I think LeBron can play all five.
Well, it's got nothing to do with LeBron. Hold on. Nothing to do with LeBron. Why is Steph Curry underachieved?
Well, he's shooting. His shooting's been a little off for a couple of games.
He's in a shooting slump, a little bit of a shooting slump. And last night he didn't have to last night. He was 5 of 17, and he's in a shooting slump. 2 of 7 from 3-point. Seems like he hits them when he needs to or when they're really big. Guys go through shooting slumps. Batters go through hitting slumps. I think he's gotten to the rim. I think he's played pretty well defensively. He's pulling down. He had 9 assists last night to go with 3 rebounds, and had a big block shot. I struggle on the whole. He's underachieved. I think he hasn't shot well.
Okay, I'm going to give you that one because you're absolutely correct. He is not underachieved because, and I don't think he gets enough credit for the defense he plays because he has been pretty solid defensively throughout the series. And I believe that if he hits his stride, I think they're going to beat Boston anyway, even if he remains in a slump. But if he hits his stride and Clay's hitting his stride, and Draymond Green is such an X factor for that team, I think Golden State's going to glide, and I'm assuming Boston's going to make it. That's a big assumption. The series is not over. I think some Miami Heat players have a little something to say about that, but I kind of think the Boston series may be just a foregone conclusion. So let's see. But I don't care who they're playing. I'm taking the Warriors in the finals. You guys have a safe and wonderful holiday weekend.
You
Later.
as well. See you. Yeah, I mean, would you say underachieved, or dude's in a slump, a little bit shooting.
what do we call a shooting slump? That he's 10% better from 3 this series?
Isn't that crazy? Right? Because he's not hitting everything that we want.
He's 4 of 12 the last 2 games from 3. But until that point, he was shooting close to 50% in the series.
Yep.
The thing that's dangerous about Steph Curry, the thing that's dangerous about the Warriors, they are not a one-trick pony.
That's right.
The Dallas Mavericks are a one-trick pony. They're hitting threes. They look fantastic. Well, Steph Curry had a below-average offensive game. He has 9 assists.
Gets to the rim.
He finishes with 15 points. So he's still in double figures despite not shooting great. That's what's dangerous about Steph and the Warriors is they can miss threes and still you look up and go, why are we down by 20 points?
Yeah. Oh, because Klay Thompson did that.
Klay
And Jordan
Thompson
Poole
just
did
hit
that.
8.
And, yeah. The text line says, to Terry's comment about injuries, with the amount of money paid to players, sometimes management will hold players out for some injuries. More nagging injuries as a look. I think what you know about an injury now is different than what you knew about an injury 20 years ago, right? Where am I going, JJ? The medical advice is a lot different as opposed to rub a little dirt on it and go play. It's, well, no, you need to rest it and ice it and electrotherapy it and right, all of that. And yeah, sit out for 10 days instead of rub a little dirt on it and go. Now, so is that why guys are missing more games now? Yeah, I think that's part of it. I think the training staff's holding guys out more now with nagging injuries to prevent them from becoming more serious, as opposed to back in the day where, oh, come on, run it off, tough guy. You're soft. I think that's a big part of why guys miss more games now, and why it seems like there's more injuries. All right, we'll wrap it up, get you into your long weekend when we come back. 505-246-0610. I still have some good correspondence from y'all to share on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
Carcrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them
like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the
Topes are home tonight. Tomorrow, Sunday, go out and get some baseball in. We'll have it here for you on The Sports Animal. Gus said Vic Schaefer, that's Warren Schaefer, must have been listening to the OD yesterday, Jeff, talking about how badly Albuquerque's baseball team needed that game. He put in his supposed stud closer in the 8th inning, clinging to the lead. The baseball team hung on. He says, when you win at the AAA level, it's fun. When you win at the AAA level, people go to the games. They go to the games. I know it's crazy, believe me when I tell you, everyone wants to hang banners on the wall. When you win at the AAA level, the hot dogs taste better. When you win at the AAA level, you pay more for beer. Maybe it's ego. I'll stay away from fireworks shows. Attended fair-weathered fans and fainted-heart losers, and every time one happens, it just convinces me more. That when you win at the AAA level, the fun never ends. When you win at the AAA level, when people ask people to go, they don't hang up the phone. You don't have to go alone. The fun never ends. It never ends. He wrote me a little poem. Isn't that nice? Gus did.
There's been great crowds this week in general.
Beautiful. School's out. Summer's here. Summertime. Summertime.
And they've been really lit and loud and fun, even when we're losing. But
you can hear that over the radio?
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Josh Sushan can get that through the radio ears?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because I hear them during the breaks, too.
Do you really?
Going wild. Yeah.
When they do Sweet Caroline?
Yeah.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah. All right. We all believe, I believe, that Miami will close this, or I'm sorry, Boston will close this out tonight.
Yes, and the spread is -3.
That's not enough, is it?
I'd pick Celtics win. Maybe Miami
Why?
could cover.
Again, what was the last close game we had? What did I tell you yesterday? Why am I supposed to believe there's going to be a close game? Because we're due?
Because we're due. Because I'll gamble on it.
Because we're due? I'd love to see Miami win this, by the way, and extend it. I would. Because we all love a Game 7 on a Sunday.
And that we're off the next day.
Yeah, even gooder. I just don't see it happening. Well, tell me why.
Yeah, I'm okay if they don't win. Because we got Stranger Things this weekend.
Ooh.
Obi-Wan just dropped on Disney+.
I forgot about that.
Like, I don't need to fit in a Game 7. So count me in. There's too much basketball. I want less basketball.
You're more urgent to watch the new shows being released.
Now.
Oh, we're going to go see Top Gun today.
Top Gun on Monday.
I'm going to play golf today because it's going to be windy all weekend, and today's going to be only breezy.
Oh, we're going to go tomorrow.
We need less sports in our life so we can live our life.
Yeah.
But then we just go sports adjacent for 3 hours every morning? I don't even know what sports adjacent means. Does that mean just like what? What does it mean?
I don't know.
Help me. I don't know. All right. No deal with the Raiders, by the way, on cap. But boy, there's been a lot of talk. Oh, here's to the Raiders. The Raiders brought him in. If they don't offer him a contract, is it here's to the Raiders, or was it just a token, or did they get hammered for potentially putting on just a show and not offering him a contract?
I don't think they get hammered.
Okay.
But I'm starting to lean more conspiracy theories with
Meaning?
the Raiders. We got the John Gruden stuff going on. He's suing the league, but that directly affected the Raiders losing their head coach with Gruden's emails being leaked and from them investigating
So they're
the
putting
Washington
the finger up
football
to the
team.
league?
Kaepernick, which, by the way, when you look at the NFL now,
Yeah.
he went from this is why I hate sports to now the NFL is like all about end racism and all this stuff, which is funny anyway. But the talk that the kneeling, hate this dude, don't need it in sports, and then all the stuff they have on the end zones and stuff now.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's just like people are saying maybe this is them kind of pushing back,
stunt?
like a bleep you.
The Raiders pushing
the
back.
Raiders pushing back to the NFL.
So do they have to sign him to make that message complete, or is just bringing him to camp?
No, because look at the talk this week. It's just talking about Kaepernick.
So I guess if that's their point, if that's their angle, why not just invite him to camp? Now he can compete with Nick Mullins and Jared Stidham for the backup role behind Derek Carr. If that's the case, bring him to camp. Invite him. What? I mean, it was days ago now, right? What are they evaluating now?
If they liked him, they would have signed him by now.
I kind of feel that way, right? Now, could he? I know everybody tells me.
Doesn't sound like Josh McDaniels was at the forefront of this workout.
Okay, but I hear everybody telling me that he's as good as 98% of the backup quarterbacks.
How do we know that?
Thank you.
And also, coming off the 2016 season, he was injured, coming off surgeries. They hired what's his name, Kyle Shanahan, and he didn't think he fit in his system. So then he demanded a trade, and then all this stuff went down, and then he's been just working out with people. And we don't even know if he's good anymore.
Look, I don't know if he is or he isn't.
But we know this isn't about football.
Correct.
So you can sit there and say all that. Colin Kaepernick made a decision.
Absolutely.
And his decision came with the consequence of he's not in jail. He lost his opportunity to play football.
Correct.
Every other conversation, everyone, give me one that's not around the National Football League. Every other one, the answer is if that guy can help me win football games, then I don't care about anything else. I don't care if he beats his wife, if he does drugs, if he has allegedly killed someone. I don't care. Every other one.
22 civil lawsuits against them.
Right? None of it. But supposedly 5 years removed from all this, they're going to bring him to camp for a
And he wasn't
freaking
starting.
show. But this isn't one. If he can help me win football games, and then we want him in.
And I think everyone looks bad in this. Everyone.
Is there another situation where that is not true? Well, if he can help me win football games, alleged murderers, drugs, cheaters, wife beaters, everything.
Like, I am right there with you, Jeff. I think this is a realization of, how poorly this was handled. It's one thing to be upset, and because someone has the right to do something doesn't mean you're going to like it. I get that. Like, people, Colin Kaepernick using that moment to kneel during the national anthem, it turned them off. But the amount of people that at that moment said they're done with sports. And
They weren't.
No, but Jeff, to say that they're done with sports, we can't have this. But yet, you can call in and say, well, I don't know about this guy, but you're absolutely A-okay. You're not stopping watching the NFL because of Deshaun Watson. You're not stopping watching the NFL because of Greg Hardy. What you just said is dead on. But for some reason, this was the one that everyone backed off of.
Okay, but now here we are 5 years later, and the Raiders invite him to camp. And they haven't offered him a contract. Now, granted, it's 3 days later. What's the end game here? Is this just a show? Is your point? Is it the Raiders putting the finger in the air to the NFL, saying, you know what? Look what we're going to do. Bleep you on this. Well, if they're going to do that, then invite the guy to camp. Look, the issue isn't going to be the locker room. Every locker room in America, or every locker room in the National Football League, is going to be able to handle Colin Kaepernick being there. Okay, not every fan base will. The Raider fan base feels like it would be one that would be able to handle Colin Kaepernick, right? I mean, think of what their fan base. Every fan base is diverse, but there's that's
People
a
look
pretty.
at, the history of said franchise.
Well, they're the first team to hire a woman vice president or front office person. They're the first team to hire a Hispanic head coach, the first team to hire a black head coach, right? I mean, they've always kind of done things differently. It feels like their fan base would be the one.
I think
what are
this
we doing?
isn't. We're asking if he can still play because of the time.
Yeah, 100%.
And no one gave him this chance for 5 years.
And we'll see if he has a contract when we come back on Tuesday. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowherd follows that. 2 Men On comes your way at 4, and then the Isotopes and Round Rock will come your way this afternoon. We're off on Monday, as are most of you. We're going to take the Memorial Day holiday. Great week, Marie, even though I was here for 2 days.
Thank you.
Adrian, great work. Enjoy all the movies this weekend, dude.
Please win tonight, Boston.
Hey, have a great, safe holiday weekend. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We will talk to you next Tuesday.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Dream Style Stucco. Stucco is the way to favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style.